Hey, good people. This is a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 9. Okay, so we're at Phaedra's house. This is at the sound bath that Phaedra was having for the ladies, and they were sitting at the dinner table. And Portia and Callie have gotten into it because Callie mentions that Portia has F every Nigerian in Atlanta, and that just really set Portia off. And Portia was like, "You're the one who's fucking, I'm sorry, you're the one who's effing married men." And Angela's like, "Who is he? Who is he? Who's the married man?" Because Portia's saying that everyone knows that this happened and everyone knows who he is. And apparently, this person is one of Phaedra's clients and he's a pastor. And she even mentioned that he's a Nigerian pastor. Like, okay. All right, then. It really gets heated between the ladies. Production have to come, and Phaedra's also up, and they're trying to get between Portia and Callie before Portia squashes Callie. Not saying that Callie cannot put up a fight, but I don't think she should try Portia. No, 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 don't try her. So Callie goes off into the house with K Michelle, Pinky, and Shamia. And Portia's outside with Phaedra, Angela, and Drew. And so we're going from scene to scene where Portia's, not understanding what's going on and stating that she's sick of Callie with her mess, and that Callie is just mad because Portia's getting her lick back. Callie had confronted Portia last season about Portia taking a married man, so to speak. And so I guess Portia really didn't like that, so Portia's getting her lick back, so to speak, stating that she knows that Callie's been sleeping with a married man, and this is something that recently happened. So Callie's in the house, and she's, venting to K Michelle, Shamia, and Pinky that she's been going through a lot, that she's dealing with things with her ex-husband and with her divorce, and that the ex will not allow her to film with her girls. So she was like, she really don't have time for this. And Portia even mentioned that Kelly is a big titty fly. When I say this episode was funny, this episode was funny, funny. And so we also have K Michelle. She's pretty much saying that her problem is really with Drew, and she even says Drew have a hum face. Like Drew is like, huh? And they flash to Drew making the, saying hum while she's making the face. And this is something that K Michelle mentions to Pinky while they're riding home. So Shamia and oh my gosh, Shamia and Callie leave together, and K Michelle and Pinky decide to leave together. And then Portia, Angela, Drew, Phaedra, they stay at the house, still talking at the dinner table. So on the ride home with K Michelle and Pinky, Pinky stating that she feels that Portia really wants to be friends with K Michelle, and Michelle is like, well, Portia acts different when she's not around everyone, and that she don't have time for Portia to be trying to play her like she's crazy or something. And she said Portia will not run her, and Portia don't run Atlanta. I was like, okay, what really is the problem? Is she like jealous that Portia is like the vet of the show, and that Portia is or can be seen as like the showrunner of the shows? Maybe. I don't know, but that was kind of weird that she said that Portia don't run Atlanta. So going back to Portia, Portia said that she thought she could make a new friendship with Kay, that Kay was someone new that was, coming in, and this was someone that she could make a new fresh friendship with. And while they were at the table talking, she just felt that there was kind of a gang up, because every time um Kelly would say something, K Michelle was just like, she would be like amen in it, so to speak. Like she would go along with whatever Kelly was saying at the table towards Portia. And so Portia was like, she felt it was like a gang up, and she wasn't understanding why K Michelle wouldn't just call her, discuss whatever issue she may have, instead of going around to other people and everyone else knowing about the issue, instead of Michelle just reaching out to her. All right, so we go on and we have Shamil, who's visiting her parents' home, and it's her mom and her dad and her sister that's at the house. Beautiful home, nice setting, everything. I thought the mama was a little overdressed, but maybe that lady had somewhere to go that day. I don't know, but I'm like, just to be in your kitchen and dress like you finna go to, I don't know. She was just overdressed at the moment. I'm like, baby, you could have just put on a moo and been in the kitchen with your makeup on, whatever. Beautiful, beautiful family, all of that, whatever. So Shamil's at her parents' house and they're in the kitchen talking, and Shamil's, catching them up on some things that's been going on with the friend group, and that there's like some division within the friend group, and that she's the person that's being blamed for the division. So, her mom was pretty much, well, you can't worry about that. And then they start talking about her progress with the surrogacy, and she started letting her family know about the struggles that she's had with that, that they've been through many rounds, different surrogates, and excuse me, the process just haven't been taking. But now they do have a new surrogate, and they only have one male embryo left, and so they're hoping that things will work out with that it will be a success, because Shamia really wants to give her husband Gerald a baby boy. They already have two girls. But at the same time, Shamia's kind of afraid because her last little girl have, health issues, and with the issues that she's currently dealing with, she's not 100% sure if her last baby, I think her name is Shiloh, will be like her forever baby. Not that she have a problem with it, but it will be a lot for her to deal with if she were to have another child, and that child also will be presented with, some type of health issues, so to speak. So, overall, I pray that everything goes well for them, and but like her mom said, pretty much is like God's will. If this is something that's meant to happen, then it will happen. So, but to me, just from watching the show and what I've seen on the show, not to say that Shamil's not a good mom or a good wife, but it seems that Shamil likes to be in the street and she likes the fame, and I don't know. It's just it's giving a different vibe as far as like wanting to extend the family or just trying to be in the spotlight, whatever it may be. But we'll see how things continue to go with that. So, we have Kelly who visits Phaedra's home, and she's there apologizing to Phaedra about her behavior at the sound bath, and she was letting Phaedra know that she had enough of Portia putting her finger in her face. And Kelly said her and Portia are not on the same accord, and that she's going through a lot right now. And like I mentioned before, she had said that with her issues, one of the issues with her ex is that he won't allow her to film with the girls, and I guess that's causing some strife within her home, because the young girls, they want to know why they're not a part of this thing that she's a part of, which is being on this television show that they can't film. And reason that's understandable, because I'm sure it's uncomfortable to be filming a reality show, and you have three kids, but you can only have one that's allowed to be on the show with you. And then the other two, they're not allowed, but they were on the previous season. So, and they probably like that. They like being a part of the show. So Phaedra tells her that she may have some advice on that situation, and I kind of feel that we will see that Phaedra will, do some type of legal work for Callie, and in respect to the situation with the kids. So that'll be interesting to see how everything work out with that. And then they also talk about Kelly's new boo, and they want to, well, Kelly's calling him Jarvis, so that's the name that she's given us. And she said no one would get to meet him as of now. She's not ready to, introduce her new boo to everyone, so they're gonna have to wait on that. Then we go to Pinky, and Pinky's at a photo shoot with her daughter Dee Dee, and Angela also shows up with her daughter. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name of Angela's daughter, but we know that Angela's daughter's been part of New York Fashion Week, and so she's into that type of thing also. So those little girls are doing their photos, and then later Miss Cynthia arrives at the photo shoot, and she gives little Dee Dee some pointers on posing, which is too cute. It was absolutely beautiful. Such a cute scene to see that. And Pinky and Angela, they take Cynthia to the side, and they catch Cynthia up on what's been going on with the ladies and all the drama, like who's beefing with who and why and things like that. And Cynthia basically say that it wasn't meant for her to, in her cheekbones, to be around all that drama that they had going on, because Cynthia had left the sound bath earlier. I think she said she had a flight to catch. She was in and out of there, so she missed all that drama and chaos. And so Cynthia tell Pinky and Angela that she's gonna hold them accountable to get the ladies back on track. And Angela said that her and Shamia have to hash things out, and Pinky, she's so funny because she cuts everyone off and she takes over a conversation. But Pinky tells Angela that she instigates a lot, which was really funny. Like, really? So Pinky suggests that Angela and Shamia needs to have a one-on-one. Angela states in her confessional that she will try to reach out to Shamina, Shamesi, Shalaya for the betterment of the group. Oh my gosh. Angela is so funny. I really, really like her. And I wish she had a been on previous seasons, like with Nene and King and them. That would have been a good, 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 good time, I'm sure. So she's definitely, definitely like one of my faves on Real Housewives in Atlanta right now. All right. So yeah, in her confessional, I'm gonna say it again. She said that she will try to reach out to some Shamina, Shamesi, Shalaya. So funny. All right. And then Pinky said that she met with Portia at her house, and they flashed back to that scene. And Portia could barely get a word in, but overall, Portia agreed to meet with K. Michelle, to try to talk things out when Pinky went to meet with Portia. So funny. All right. So Shamia links up with Callie at the dental office, and Callie's new boo, Jarvis, apparently he's paid $70,000 for her to have a new smile. So she got veneers, I guess, and it was $70,000. And also he had some flowers delivered with this like diamond chain, and there's a picture of Kelly and her kids on the chain. It looked really, really cheesy. Cheesy for sure. Not I'm sure the diamonds and everything are real, but the overall thing was just look cheesy, and I don't know, look like something you would get out of one of them mall kiosks. But anyway, so Jarvis, I'm throwing quotes. I don't have my camera on, but Jarvis is on the phone, and Callie's telling him thank you, and he was like she deserved to have a new smile on her face and everything. And Shamia, in her confessional, she mentions that she introduced Callie to her new boo, and that the new boo is not someone that's a brokey. And I'm saying boo, she didn't say boo, but she was like, this is not a brokey, and she wouldn't dare introduce her girl to a brokey. All right, then, gold diggers, y'all get it how you live. I ain't hating though, I ain't hating. So Shamil is to connect, I guess, to these rich men. But I want to say that I listen to Kempire. I love me some Kempire. And while I was listening to Kempire show the other day, I really want to say that someone had called in. I didn't catch the person's name, but they called in and they told Kempire that they saw Kelly on a billboard for a dental office, like advertising. So it may not be that the guy Jarvis paid the $70,000 for that new smile. It's probably some type of promotional deal or something like that. But who knows? More power to you, Kelly. Smile, honey. Just smile with your new smile, whatever it may be. But that was kind of funny to get that little tea. And I guess I should say allegedly. I don't know. I'm new at this recording thing. I'm just gonna go say allegedly. This is not it's not true that the guy Jarvis, whoever that is, paid $70,000 for a new smile. But I mean, if he did, oh well. However, I'm like, oh, really? Is that what they do? I guess at that level, they're not just getting purses. Like Portia seasons ago, she had a guy to buy her a new car, I think the Bentley or something like that, that Claudia and Kenya tried to blow her spot up about. And then Marlo had the billionaire to buy her townhouse and also her mom house. Boy, them girls really be cashing in. Boy, they be cashing in. They be cashing in. Okay. All right then, girls. But I guess with the new smile, if Jarvis did pay for her, if he get mad at her, what he gonna do? It'll be hard for him. Well, it's not hard for him, but is he gonna knock her teeth out or whatever? And he were to do that, and she really could sue him. So I don't think he would do that. So he probably just leave her alone with them teeth. So I guess maybe that's why she would take the $70,000 for a new smile instead of having the $70,000 to help her out with her business, since they say that she is struggling financially, but maybe she didn't want it to seem like an investment in her business or something, and he wouldn't have. I don't know what it could be, but at the same rate, on Orange County, when the guy paid for, I think his name was John, when John paid for Shannon's facelift, he turned around and sued her when they broke up for his money. And I think it was about $60,000, $70,000 she had to pay him back for the facelift. So maybe guys just be paying that money. I don't know. I ain't met no man like that. I gotta tell my husband he gotta get with the program. But all right then. That was a lot on that. I'm just thinking it through. $70,000 for some teeth for somebody you just met. All right then. Okay. But like I said, that caller said that Callie allegedly is on a billboard about some teeth. So it might, we'll see. Whatever it may be. Okay. So that was them at the dental office. And of course, as we all know, Shamil's acting cringy. They come out of the dental office and she's carrying Kelly on her back. It just looks so crazy, so stupid, whatever. So we go on to Drew, and Drew meets up with her team. And she got probably maybe about 8 to 10 people there, but it seems like 50, 11 people, because it's like, okay, why did Drew have all these people here? Okay, but it's her team that works for her. Her music producer, her photographer, her hairstylist, her driver, her assistant, her stylist, her makeup artist. And so she brings her new manager, Keon, and she introduces them to her group. So and Keon is there, trying to find out what's been going on within the group. And they kind of get into they do get into an argument. One person said that he's been doing other people's work and some people are lazy. And then there's a guy named Danny who started talking about Drew's hair not being on point. And it was just crazy how they just started going at each other. And then there's a guy named Freedom who was accused of getting drunk on the job, and it's all kind of chaos that breaks loose, that breaks out. And Drew even mentions that at one of her shows, I think in Chicago, that she found out that there was like a brawl or some type of altercation that had went on amongst them, and that's not good for her, and it's really stressing her out. And she's not with firing people, but she needs a team that is going to be there for her, and that only makes sense. And the new manager Keon tells the team that the pettiness has to stop, which is true. But it was very interesting and it was entertaining at the same time. I was like, oh my God, what is really going on? That was pretty funny. All right, so Kay, Michelle, Pinky, Cynthia, and Portia meets up. Pinky and Cynthia leave the ladies to talk. Kay said that she didn't think Portia is a bad person, and she said, and this is in her confessional, she said that Portia is not smart, but she knows Portia can beat her ass, so she will be cordial with Portia. When I say K Michelle can be funny, she can be very funny, even though she's brought like some confusion with this stuff that she's saying that they're trying to plot on her. Other than that, K Michelle is very, very, very funny. So That was hilarious. Portia said she was closed off because the issue had already gone to so many other people and not directly to her. And then K. Michelle said she was caught off guard on her first encounter with Portia when they met up with Kelly because Portia accused Kelly of being with a married man. And Portia said that Kay will see way more than that, but she will find her way in the group. Portia says in her confessional that her talking about Kelly being on her hands and knees, not praying to a pastor, has nothing to do with K. Michelle. Oh my God. If I didn't holler out, that was so funny. Like, what? And so K. Michelle and Portia, they basically make up. And they even mentioned a friend contract in front of Cynthia, and that really made Cynthia's day. Because remember years ago, Cynthia and Nene had like the friends contract. Yeah, so that was cute. K. Michelle said that Drew is plotting against her. So now we move from Portia plotting against K. Michelle to Drew plotting against K. Michelle. And that Drew is trying to make it seem like Kay and the guy Black had something and that Kay knows him, something like that. And it just makes no sense. No sense at all. And so Portia's trying to figure out who she's referring to that Drew told this to, and they flash back to Shamil saying that it was already being told even before. I guess they were, I don't know, but anyway, it goes back to Shamil or whatever. Um, so we get to Angela and Shamil meeting up, and this was like the read down. Like they both were reading each other. So Angela's already at the restaurant. When Shamil arrives, she let the hostess know that she's looking for someone with some big feet and big hands. It's not funny. It's really crazy because I'm like, why is Shamil even doing this? Like she goes too far. Talking about the lady body parts or whatever, but I guess they all do it to each other because I'm quite sure Angela said some stuff too. But that's really sticking out about the big feet, big hand, and all that kind of stuff. And so Angela basically said that she wanted to meet up with Shamia so they could so she could get an understanding of the tension between the two of them. And Shamia's not understanding why Angela is always picking, and Angela said that Shamia is always trying to act like a victim. And nobody likes that word victim, so that's really when all hell broke loose. And Angela mentioned that she have discernment about Shamia, and Shamia was like, you need to discern about how to sell those houses. So it's like they really was like it was like tennis, ping pong. Like they were reading each other down, but Angela won that. Angela said, I never laid on my back to get on my feet. Now that there, that just took the win. I'm sorry. I never laid on my back to get on my feet. And Shamil wanted to call her Sasquatch, and Angela told her she's sleeping in bed with Sasquatch, and I thought they both were wrong for Shamil calling Angela Sasquatch, and for Angela pulling in Shamil's husband Gerald saying that he's Sasquatch or whatever. He gotta look good to Shamil, I guess. He's not a bad looking guy if you ask me. So they were just like really going at each other, but I would say Angela won. And then Angela start telling her about how she's working for the Falcons and the Hawks, and Shamil's trying to say it pays well and it pays more than her trying to sell those houses. And Angela's like the men pay well, so it's basically like she's accusing Shamil of being with other guys or whatever, and she's saying Angela was saying that Shamil's pretty much in the street just as much as her husband Charles is, and Shamil's like, if your husband's in the street and sees me, that it made no sense, Shamil, because the thing is like, if her husband in the street, then he definitely shouldn't be seeing you, especially late at night, running around in the streets and stuff. Your wife, your mom, go home. So, but it was all good. A great episode. I am tuning in for the season. This was episode 9. I'm looking forward to episode 10. Thank you guys so much for listening to my recap, my review. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.